Mr. George Boaty. Mr. George Boaty.
Name's Roger Boaty. Mr. George Roger Boaty.
Well, of course it is, George. And good evening, darlings, and a very warm welcome to Wednesday Night Live with me, Boaty, and I'm going to be coming live into your eyes and your ears for the next, well, as long as I can manage, really, theoretically, for the next 55 minutes. Whether I make it after the day I've had for the next 55 minutes is another matter. And before I go any further, let me just tell you, I'm trying something different tonight, darlings. Excuse me. I've got you guys there, as normal. Hello. But I've got another camera just there. And that is doing a Facebook Live in the singles community group, which you all know about because I keep talking about it, don't I? And I've been saying how I want to try and reinvigorate it and incorporate it into the Boaty's World community, make it one kind of thing. So I just had a little brainwave, just as a, well, brainwave or brave fart, one or the other. Brain fart, not brave fart. A brave fart is when you're not sure whether it's going to be trustworthy or not, and you let fly anyway. But yeah, I had a little brainwave just when, I've just thought, oh, balls. Right, I might have buggered this up for a start anyway, because I haven't got a microphone plugged into the other camera, have I? So the other camera is, well, I've got no idea if they can hear me or not, to be perfectly honest, but we won't worry about them. So yeah, I've got another camera doing a Facebook Live on there. So, and if any of you guys are watching me in the Facebook group, which I don't imagine you are, this is, right, how can I explain this? This is a YouTube live stream. So you can comment, feel free, but I'm not looking at Facebook because I've only got two eyes. So if you want to comment and you want me to read it and you want me to interact, jump onto the YouTube live stream. They're tricky chaps' words, aren't they? Live stream. Jump onto the YouTube live stream. Just go onto YouTube and search for Boaty's World or something. I don't bloody know. Yeah, search for Boaty's World. Click onto the live stream things and there'll be a live stream going on at the moment. And if you do that, you will be with all of these wonderful people who keep me company every night. Oh, I can see that somebody has actually commented on Facebook. Oh, God. This is going to get insanely complicated, isn't it? Well, hang on. Before we get to that, let's crack on with you lot. I'm looking at you, my inner scrotum. Who have I got? Steve Cole, good evening to you. Jimmy Quinn says, good evening, Boaty. Good evening, Jimmy. Neil Gibbons, a.k.a. the Gibbonateur. Il Gibernatore. How are you, Neil? Neil says, hello all, hope we're all well. How did the car collection go, Boaty? Did you make it back okay? Yeah, the car collection went fine. For those who don't know, myself and Captain Mustard, we went to the seaside today, although bloody hell, apparently I was about 40 yards from the sea, but you couldn't see it. So we went all that way and didn't see the sea. But yeah, we went to Blackpool or Lytham St Anne's, or Lytham, because Lytham and St Anne's are actually two different places. And we picked up a car and it got back fine there. It's a little belter. I drove it back and what an absolutely cracking little car. Difficult to fault, really. And for those who don't know, it's a Rover R8 214. I can't remember what year it is. No, can't remember. Haven't got a clue. But it's nice, low mileage. K-Series is like a little sewing machine. The only two things I could fault it at, the interior is beautiful. The only two faults I could pick up, the clutch bites really quite high, but then that's, that can be endemic. Certainly every 45 I've ever had has done that. And the other, it's not a fault as such, I'd just forgotten. They're very low geared. So when you're sitting at motorway speeds, you got quite a few revs up. I think $3,000 in fifth gets you about 64 miles an hour, or an indicated 64 miles an hour. So quite low geared. Excuse me. Your good health, darlings. Sophie is here with us, lovely Sophie. Hello all. Hope we're all well. And most of all, how are you, Boaty? I'm good. I'm knackered. God, it's been a day. And how has your day and weekend been? The weekend's long gone, isn't it? It's hump day, isn't it? We're right in the middle of the week. It has been a long day, but a good day. I got up earlier than I wanted to. I always get up earlier than I want to, ideally. I drove to the Yard of Dreams, nestling in the foothills of the Pennines. And from there, we drove to Blackpool, picked up the car, drove back to the Yard of Dreams. I got back here at 6 minutes past 5. Had enough time for a wee, brush my teeth, change of clothes, straight off to work, straight to the restaurant. And the restaurant, sod's law, no sleeping on the job for me tonight. The restaurant was busy. But as it turned out, that was good because I was tired. I was feeling it. And the fact that we were busy kept me going. It's been a great evening. And now I'm with you guys. And as you know, when I'm with you, I am filled with a joy that is little short of orgasmic. So it's been a great day, Soph. Thank you for asking. Hope yours has been pretty good too. Dan Peters is with us and says, hello, Mr. Boaty. Say hello to you, Dan. I went to look at a car today. Oh, did you? Needed far too much work. It was a Rover P6. Oh, yeah, well, there you go. Loads of welding. The only good thing, it was a V8. Well, you got to love that Buick lump. Cheeseburger is here. Our friend General Cheeseburger, widely known as the Master General of ultimate shithousery. So Cheeseburger will have a few things to say. Was that the National Swingers Association? No, it wasn't, Neil. That was singles, not swingers. Well, some of them might be swingers for all I know. Shall we have a look? Let's have a look at the Facebook group and see if anybody's actually watching. I bet they're not. Bear with. Bear with. Hang on. Where is it? Ah, there we are. There we are. No, absolutely nobody watching at all. Typical. Oh, hang on. There's one person watching, but nobody's commented or anything. Oh, and it's weird. You can see me from a different angle on that. It looks all weird. It's not what I'm used to. Andrew's here. Hello, Boaty's World community. Cheeseburger says, take the microphone out of our phone and put it... Sod off, Cheeseburger. I'm glad you had a good day, say Sophie. That's very kind. Yeah. Well, thank you, Neil. I did wonder about that. So, now then, Obviously, I did a live stream earlier on, or Mustard and I did a live stream earlier on, and we live streamed from the Yard of Dreams to Blackpool. Now, I think I probably owe some people an apology. I was reading the comments on that live stream on my iPad, and I didn't realize it, but at some point before the end, my iPad ran out of internet. I used up my internet allowance, and I've got a stop thing on it so that I don't run up any additional charges. So I thought that you lot had just stopped commenting, and you didn't necessarily. I might have just missed them. And obviously the live chat doesn't come back on stream until about 24 hours after the live stream has been posted. So I've got no idea what I missed, but I promise you I wasn't ignoring you. If I didn't reply to it, it's because I just didn't know you'd commented. If I'd realized that this had run out of electricity, I would have either looked on this or just piggybacked the internet off this to this. But I didn't realize, so I didn't do any of those things. So there you go. You wanted a classic as a project, Dan. Well, that's a very laudable idea. So, what were we talking about last night? Because I remember that I wanted to carry it on, didn't I? Oh, yeah, we were talking about Blackpool, weren't we? We were talking about all things Blackpool. And sorry, I'm getting my leg out here to have a bit of a scratch. Don't worry, there's no leg perverts around. Yeah, and we were talking about roller coasters and all good things. Oh, hello, Andrew's off. At least you read the comments this time. That's an improvement. Thank you, Cheeseburger. I appreciate the praise and support. Sarcastic git. And as I said, I'm very happy to talk about roller coasters. Correct, yeah. And oh, hello. Neil's head gasket kit turned up today. So strip down on Project Bruce is go when he finishes work. Well, keep us up to speed, mate. We're all with you in spirit, but not in practice. Right, roller coasters. I can reveal that my favorite roller coaster in the world, some of you will already know this, is a roller coaster called the Montana Suisse. And oh, hello, Ben's here. The live stream, the changes since Harry and Boaty met. Read the table. It's used for live streams now. Oh, right. Yeah. It's used for live streams now as well as other activities. Yeah, well, it's perfect for other activities. It's a capacious and very sturdy table. Neil says, Boaty, slowly roll up one trouser leg and show me, please. It's for my, oh shit. It's for my Blue Peter badge. Does anybody else miss Michael, the foot pervert? He was a pain in the ass. Well, probably would have been a pain in the ass, quite literally, given the chance. Oh dear, sorry about that. But now that he's not here, I kind of miss him a bit. Boaty, did you and Mustard buy the car today at Blackpool? Yeah, we did. We bought it. The deal was already done. The owner brought the car to the yard on Monday for us to view, and we viewed and we made an offer, and the owner slept on it, and then there was a minor negotiation, and the deal was done. So yeah, we literally just went to pick it up and drive it back to the yard. So oh, and Sophie doesn't miss Michael the foot pervert, and it says it's weird if you ask her. The best coaster I went on, says Cheeseburger, was Guazzi at Busch Gardens, Tampa. A proper wooden bone shaker. I was bruised all over. They've since modernized it with steel track. Not good. Well, my favorite, the Montana Suisse, is a very, very old roller coaster. It's one of the oldest roller coasters in the world. And it's at a place called the Parque des Attracciones, which is on Monte Gueldo, which is the mountain overlooking San Sebastian. And basically, you've got like well, I'm sure that many of you will have been to San Sebastian, you'll be familiar with it, but you've got a big old bay, and then you've got like mountains either side of the bay, because San Sebastian nestles into basically the foothills of the Pyrenees and the Basque Country between Spain and France. And on this mountain, which is amazing, the road up to it is like a twisty, roundy, going around the mountain type road. There's also a funicular railway to the top. You know how much I love a funicular railway. And there is some sort at the top, there's some sort of like palace type thing, stately home, something like that. And in the grounds of this mountaintop stately home, they built like a fun fair, but they built it in the long ago, and they opened it to the public. So hence the funicular railway going up, because the funicular railway would have been there before there was a road. It's a very old funicular railway. And two of the rides are ancient, and both of them are actually carved into the mountain itself. So the roller coaster, and again, if you have a look on my channel, go to Boaty's Coasters, you'll see a video of it. You'll see a point of view ride on video on it. So the roller coaster is literally carved into the mountainside. It goes underneath the stately home, which is now a hotel. The Hotel Monte Gueldo. It's part of the Accor chain, and it's branded as Mercure, but it is well above normal Mercure standards. It's probably my favorite hotel in the world. We've spoken about favorite hotels before. Do join in if you'd like to. And my three favorite hotels in the world, or four, are gotta be the Monte Gueldo, which I just adore, the Bellagio in Vegas, which is just a hoot, probably Lake Vyrnwy in mid Wales, and also, I mean, obviously I love the Dolmen in Aura in Malta, although that's not really in the same league. It's just because I happen to love Malta. But yes, you've got this ancient roller coaster, and it is so old that and it's cut into the mountainside. It goes up and over, right overhanging the mountain, looking down onto the bay and the sea. I mean, it's an incredible thing. It goes underneath the building, through the building, and it's so old that it requires a brakeman. That's how old it is. So in other words, and I bet you none of you, or very, very few of you, have been on a roller coaster that requires a brakeman. In other words, there's a man, the roller coaster is two cars, and in the middle of the two cars, there's a man sitting on a special seat, and he has to operate the brake to bring it to a halt. It's called a brakeman. And of course, that's something that roller coasters, or scenic railways, as they were mostly called way back in the day, all had to have. And this is, I think it's the only one in the world that remains, and it's awesome. And the other ride that's there that's original, and again I say ride, is like a water ride, a boat ride. And again, it's a channel that's cut into the mountain itself, and again goes through the building itself. And proper old school, little 2 or 4 seater boats. And it's a paddle thing. There's just a bloody great paddle going round, creating a tide, and that just wafts the boats around, and it's absolutely amazing. And that is my favorite in the world. Other favorites would be, I love Megaphobia at Oakwood Park. You've got to love the Grand National. It's the law. And probably my favorite wooden roller coaster would be a roller coaster called Tonnerre de Zeus at Parc Astérix on the outskirts of Paris. The worst, oh, right. The foot pervert was someone using an AKA alias, says Skick. Well, that's possible. Mixing people up, says Ben. That would be Michael Butterwing, surely. I see what you did there. The worst ride, says Cheeseburger, is the Tower of Terror at any Disney park. A drop tower that goes up and down. Absolutely hate it. Oh, I've been on a few of those. The worst of the towers that I remember going on, I can't remember what it was called, but it's the one at Drayton Manor Park, and you stand up on it. You stand up. Drayton Manor Park used to have a thing about doing things standing up, because you had the tower where you stood up, and you had a roller coaster called Shockwave, where God, I'd forgotten all about that. And it's a roller coaster where you stand up. You're not sitting down. You're actually standing up, and it's a multiple inverting coaster. So it's quite weird seeing your feet way up above of your head. So say some places have had bad rain and wind. I know Barmouth has a yellow warning. Well, it was a bit like that at Blackpool or Lytham. It was a driving wind and rain. It wasn't pleasant at all. Whereas here this morning, before I left, it was really quite nice. Let's have another look at Facebook and just see if any of these singles lot are having a look. Excuse me. Not a single bloody person watching. You see, no, you might think that I was joking when I told you that the community was dead. That is a community of 10,000 people, more than 10,000 people. Somebody goes on and does a live. How many people have a look? Not one, zero, nada. I think they're all dead and they've just forgotten to leave Facebook, or their memorial settings haven't been turned on or something. Bloody hell. I mean, trying to get that community kick-started again, need a bloody Ouija board. It's like trying to wake the dead. Oh, dear God. James says the best ride at Alton Towers was 13. I loved how it went pitch black and then shut down like a lift back in 2013. I enjoyed the big one in Blackpool Pleasure Beach too, singing Highway to... Hello, Simone's here, hooked on classics. Good evening. Ben says, I'm not one for rides normally, but I wouldn't mind to go in Carol Vorderman. God, are we back to Carol Vorderman? Well, okay, let's have a straw poll. Carol Vorderman, yes or no? Would you? Over to you. It's still a no from me, I think. Or would I? Oh, maybe I would. I don't know. The last time I went to Drayton Manor, says Cheeseburger, it was still a zoo. Ah, yeah, Drayton Manor Park and Zoo. I think their first ride was a trailer attached to a Land Rover in the zoo, and it just went whizzing round, going round bushes really quickly. And that was a ride back in the day. Neil says, I cannot stand drop towers. Never again in my life will I venture on one. Simone has wind sometimes too. Well, you know, happens to the best of us. Neil says, Cheeseburger, this goes halfway up, stops, goes back up, etc. My daughter laughs at the start again. Oh, there's a few like that. Let me think. Right, the one at Oakwood Park is like that. God, I'm trying to think of the other ones I've been on in the UK. Oh, hello, Joe's here, Cars with JC. Evening all. Oh, it's a no from Jimmy Quinn. It's a no from Simone. Ben is just clarifying whether we mean the car or the human. We mean the human, I think. Yeah, Neil is not a fan of drop towers. He's not having it. Not having it at any price. Cheeseburger says Vodafone depends on which interface. What's that about? Oh, it's 100% yes from Neil. Was it Taylor Dane? Who the hell's Taylor Dane? Is there another conversation going on that I don't know about? Taylor Dane? Not a clue. Oh, but Simone would have done Carol Vorderman 30 years ago. Well, how old would you have been then, Simone? I'm not sure that would have been entirely legal, would it? Were you legal 30 years ago, Simone? I mean, Carol was, obviously. Oh, and Skick would have been 7. Oh, hang on, Skick. Skick says 17. Is that how old Simone would have been or how old you were? Drop towers, says James, are just stupid. Just go up to the top of Blackpool Tower and jump off. Okay. Hello, says Project Nigel. Captain Mustard is with us. Right, yeah. Oh, and Mustard's just saying good night to his wife. So let's all say good night to Mrs. Mustard, shall we? Good night, Mrs. Mustard. I hope you have a safe and peaceful night and sleep well. I hope Paul doesn't poke you out of bed. And interestingly, Mustard calls his wife on this occasion wife number 1. Now, there's a question. Are you married and how many times have you been married? I don't think we've ever covered that before. Now, I've been engaged about 643 times, but I've only been married actually once. I've come very close to it on at least one other occasion, but I've only actually been married once. And I know that Mustard has only been married once so far. So are any of you like, where's my wine? Oh God. I'm all over the place tonight like a mad woman's rose. Are any of you like serial offenders in the marriage stakes? Oh, and I forgot to ask you, what have you been eating today? What did you have for lunch? What have you had for dinner? What's for supper? Now, obviously, I was torn as to what to take today, and I think I made the right decision. After I finished last night's live stream, I made my ham rolls. So that's Yorkshire Drury ham, really good ham actually, with fresh tomatoes sliced, black butter, obviously, good butter, black pepper and lashings of mustard. And I wrapped them up in foil. And that's what I had for lunch today. And they were absolutely splendid. I really enjoyed them. Really enjoyed them. And I'm minded to have them more often, actually, because, I mean, does anybody else enjoy this? A nice sandwich, but with a little bowl of chips. Oh, that's really nice, that is. So make yourself a nice ham and tomato roll and have some nice chips with it. And you can just dip a hot chip into the mustard and that's, oh, lovely. God, I fancy that now. I've got curry tonight. Right, where did I get to? Simone has never been married. Right. Neil says, some say he needs a king-size bed for the widge, and it also has its own night hat. Oh, God, now there's an image. Captain Mustard's in his nightie with his nightcap on, and his little chap with his own Nike. Oh dear, 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 dear. And Simone has never even been engaged. My God, how did you escape, Simone? Cheeseburger has been engaged twice, married once. Mustard apparently has 2 wives. Oh, Cheeseburger went out for a curry. It was bang average. What did you have? What did you have? I mean, I presume you went to an Indian place. Normally, I mean, I haven't been to an Indian restaurant for a long, long, long time. But normally I would just play it safe and have chicken Boaty and a garlic naan and hope for the best. That sounds like Blue. That I went on at Drayton Manor. Yeah. Simone had chicken in white sauce with rice. Oh God! Well, we're still on about Mustard's knob. Dear God, this is a subject that you don't get tired of talking about it, do you? Neil says, I'll get my mum to knit him a double XL knob warmer when I come up next. God, can you imagine? Well, actually, I don't want to imagine. Simone says, Boaty, I haven't been in a meaningful relationship since 1997. Gosh. How much of that is through choice, Simone? And how much is through circumstance? And 1997. Oh, that's quite a while, isn't it? There must be quite a strong element of personal choice in that. And I would totally get that because, I'm not in a relationship at the moment. I'm exceptionally happy. And I would be nervous of getting into another, full on relationship because I would be nervous of losing the happiness that I currently have. Cheeseburger says chicken and mushroom Boaty at a Bangladeshi restaurant is normally okay. It's a reasonably safe bet, isn't it? I mean, when they make Boaty, there's. I'll let you into another little secret. You might find that Boaty tends to taste vaguely or basically the same with whichever restaurant or takeaway you eat it at. And there's a very good reason for that. As far as I'm aware, every Indian takeaway and restaurant in the UK uses the same base paste for Boaty, and that's why they all tend to taste much of a muchness. With other curries, they'll make their own base sauce, but with Boaty, there is a very specific Boaty paste that restaurants and takeaways buy, and that's what they use to give the Boaty its unique taste. And it's, it's kind of unique, I suppose, but it kind of isn't because everyone tastes the same. And I'm ashamed to say we do it too. Well, actually, I don't feel any shame about that because if you visit an authentic Nepali restaurant and order an Indian dish, then you deserve whatever you get. Where did I get to? Mustard says, I'm going to stop hiding it if you all carry on. You're not hiding it because of us, Mustard. Tell the truth. You're hiding it because it's too cold to wear your pajamas to work. That's why you're wearing jeans, because they're bloody warmer and it's winter now. After we pointed out the prominence of your little or not so little tinkle, you carried on wearing your pajamas, you shameless tart. So don't make out it's for us. Skick says that's an R, Reg Simone. That was the year I was born, says Neil. Oh, God, great way to make somebody feel old. Not personal choice, says Simone. There must be an element of personal choice, even if it's just that you've got very particular standards and you're not willing to compromise them, which, again, I wouldn't disapprove of that. I would heartily approve of it, but that would still be a personal choice. Jimmy is going for an Indian on Friday night, wedding anniversary. Well, I hope you enjoy it, mate. Skick says it's very true. There's a lot to be said for peace and freedom. Oh God, Cheeseburger bought his MGF in '97, and that was a disaster. Ben says, Mrs. Mustard, Boaty only had a little lick of mustard earlier. Don't worry, it was what you might call just a social lick. Oh, hello, Mark's here. Mark on Motoring. Good evening, all. Frog in throat. Apologies for being late again. Oh, and Simone, oh, bless you. I hate being on my own. Gosh, do you really? You know, it's funny, the picture that you build up of people, isn't it? Now, to me, Simone, you come across, now, obviously, you know, videos are not real life. Even chatting in forums isn't real life. But you come across as a contented person with quite a full life, really. You don't strike me as somebody who hates your circumstances. But I'm not questioning you, not for a second. So, since 1997, have you actively pursued a relationship, and what were the issues or circumstances that meant that one didn't come about? If you don't mind me asking, tell me to mind my own business. What lunch did you choose on the car trip today, says Dad? I went for the ham rolls. Ham, fresh sliced tomato, black pepper, mustard, and they were fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I'm never going to eat a supermarket sandwich again. They're and I can't imagine why anybody would. They were really nice. I thoroughly enjoyed them. Simone says, online dating is scary. Yes, it can be. Expensive. Again, it can be. Doesn't have to be. And most sites presume you are straight. Is that still true? Is that still true? I'm not sure that it is. And there are so many other alternatives to online dating and online dating sites. I mean, I could do 100 live streams about online dating. Honestly, believe me, because obviously over the last 8 years, I've got my own history with online dating, but I kind of bucked the trend. It just worked for me, and it worked brilliantly. Total game changer, online dating was. But I've got experience of a lot of other people's experiences of it. And of course, being an owner of a dating site, then I know inside out how the business works, and I know the business model, and I know the fraudulent practices that go on. But online dating can be very successful if you're smart and if you're savvy. There are niche sites, but you have to be careful because there are a lot of fraudulent sites out there. But there are other avenues, aren't there? There are in this age of social media, there are forums and whatnot. I mean, I run one, and Okay, it's pants now because I don't actively run it day to day anymore. But back in the day, it was great. As I said the other night, my last few relationships all came from that social forum, and it worked for a lot of other people as well. And I do mean a lot. A lot of people found dates, found casual beastliness, and found long term relationships, marriage, long term partners, children, and whatnot. So there are loads of other options out there. Um, it's it's not like the old days when you had to go down to your local pub or nightclub and take whatever you could get. Mark says, you're never alone, Simone. You've got us lot for better or worse, probably for worse. Well, that's absolutely true. Oh, and Skick has come out with an old chestnut. Now, Skick says you will meet someone when you least expect it. And that's an old chestnut that people come out with. And like a lot of old wives' tales, it's got some level of truth to it. But as somebody who has run a singles thing, a big singles thing for 8 or 9 years, you might meet somebody when you least expect it. You stand much more of meeting somebody when you make a real effort. Believe me, if you want to meet somebody, it's all about making the effort. I have met literally hundreds of thousands of people who say, can't meet anybody, doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. And when you talk to them and work with them or coach them or whatever, the problem is always them. It always is. They just don't go about it in the right way. And if you're talking about a relationship, and hopefully, I imagine for many people, then the ideal relationship would be long-term marriage, perhaps parentage, if that's your thing. That should be really the most important thing in your life. But in my experience, people, when trying to find a partner, uh, are they put less effort in than they do when they're trying to find a takeaway. Honestly, you go and look at most dating profiles on a dating site. 99.9% of them are total shit. No effort whatsoever. Badly written, badly spelled, thoughtless, just crap. And then people wonder why they don't succeed. Photographs that people take, crap. People just make no effort and then they're surprised when they don't get a result. Weird. Hello, John's here. John Stoodley. Hey, chat. Hey, Boaty, mate. Hello, John. Hope you're doing all right. Are you back from Skegness or are you still up there? Chip Butty is the one, say so far. All right, fair enough. I've worked out, says Cheeseburger, who Boaty looks like in his work gear. Kirk Samaritz. I've got no idea who Kirk Samaritz is. Can anybody enlighten me? I imagine he's an ugly fat bloke. Simone says, I have no one to talk to. I'm not looking for pity. I've tried and failed multiple times. Okay, Simone, how's about this, right? You're single, I'm single, and I've got a singles community that needs reinvigorating. Why don't you and I form the part of the new committee that gets singles back up and running? You're incredibly personable. You do great videos. You can come across well online. Why not jump in with me into singles and jump in as a moderator, admin, or whatever, and see if you can help try and get it back up and running, which would be a favor to me. But if you did so, then you might at least find people to talk to, which might be good for you. And it's a very open community. we've had all sorts in singles through the years. One of the best friends I made from singles was cross-dresser. Lovely guy. Really nice chap. And his old, probably shouldn't mention names. And he joined as his alter ego. He joined as Gabby, as his female side. But then as he got to know and trust us, we became allowed to see his male side as well. And, you know, I met him many times in real life. Really lovely guy. We're not in touch anymore. He found somebody through singles, and they had a kid, and I think they might be married now. But oh God, we've had all. It's a very open community. We've had gay, straight, bi, trans, nudists. God, you name it. So that's an offer to Simone and any of others of you who are single and who would be willing to give a little bit of time and effort to help me to reinvigorate the singles community for the benefit of other people and potentially themselves. And talking of singles, let's just have a look and see if anybody's watching. In the Facebook group, I mean. Oh, one person apparently, and no comments. There you go, part of the course. Told it was dead. I'd rather be single and happy, says Joe. But Joe, you're very young. I applaud you. I do applaud you, and I would recommend that everybody be single and happy rather than partnered up and unhappy. That's no good at all. But as you get a bit older, Joe, you might, you know, age creeps up, and it can start to bother you a little bit more because you, well, I suppose nobody wants to really grow old alone. And again, part of the singles ethos, the singles community, was to mitigate that. My tagline for UK singles is you might be single, but you need never be alone. And that's what we were all about. We were a community of single people, but we were never alone because 24/7, there was always somebody about, be it virtually or in real life at the meetups. And it was anyway, I won't keep banging on about it. Oh, cheeseburger, you're a terrible man. Dan says, I thought about making a YouTube channel for car reviews, having owned 79 cars in 12 years. I've had some experience in some cars. Well, go for it. You won't be the worst. When I was single, says Neil, I wasn't actively involved in dating apps or online dating, but I met Soph on Tinder. Well, that doesn't make sense, Neil. How did you manage to meet her on Tinder if you weren't actively involved in dating apps? Tinder is a dating app, and you must have actively liked her, and she must have actively liked you. Maybe you were just using it as a lot of people do. Not on it 24/7, but you've just got it there. You think, well, maybe it doesn't cost anything. Actually, you've made me think, Neil. You've made me think, yeah. Do you know what I'm going to do when I finish this live stream? I'm going to set up a Tinder profile just for shits and giggles and on the basis that you never know. So at least then, if I get back into singles, then I can sympathize and empathize and say, yeah, I'm going through it too. Oh, hello. Yeah, I thought it was, Neil. I thought it was. Oh, bloody hell, sod that. A tenner in a corner shop for a drink, a sandwich, a chocolate bar and a packet of crisps. Dear me, that's Oxford for you. I hold back on telling someone how I feel because I get scared. That's entirely natural, Simone. Entirely natural. Oh, Simone, honestly, seriously, you should come in and help me to run singles. You are arguably the perfect person and the perfect opposite to me because I'm bombastic and arrogant. And I probably come across as being frustrated with people who, in my view, are just doing things wrong. And you would be the perfect opposite to that because you're all of the things that other people probably are. And you would be much better at empathizing and finding a way to work through that and work around it. Joe says, if you're not happy with yourself being single, you're not ready for a relationship. Absolutely. I've always said that. I have always said that. And I absolutely maintain that it's 100% true. If you haven't got an entirely happy single life, then what are you offering a potential partner? The chance to share your unhappiness? That's one possibility. The other possibility is that you are saying to a potential partner, I need you to make me happy. And that's onerous. That's a duty that you've got no right to put on somebody else. Nobody else should have the job of making you happy. That's your job and your job alone. And any relationship based on you being unhappy being single, it's only going to fail because you're investing your emotional well-being into somebody else. Well, that is madness because if something goes wrong, might not be your fault, but if they leave you or cheat on you, then you're crushed because you made that person responsible for your happiness. So if they remove themselves, that's your happiness gone. Lunacy. Don't do that. Don't do that. And the other possibility is that, you know the old saying, a problem shared is a trouble doubled. So if you've got an unhappy life and you get into a relationship, that just means that somebody else is going to share your unhappy life. You sort yourself out first. And when you're happy, then you're truly ready for a meaningful relationship that has a good chance of success. A relationship can make a person. I totally disagree. A relationship can lessen a person. Can't make a person. If you can't be happy on your own, you'll never be truly happy with somebody else. Oh, okay, Cheeseburger. Video title, Confirmed Bachelor Gives Dating Advice. I'm not a confirmed bachelor. And I've been quite, well, all right, you've kind of got a point. And I get this quite a lot in singles. Because I ran singles when I was in relationships, when I was in committed, living together, engaged relationships. And people would say, well, if you know it all, how come you're single? And then you have to sort of explain, well, I'm not single. I'm very happy in a relationship. Well, what are you doing on a single site then? Well, I run it. What are you doing on the dating website? Well, I own it, and it all gets a bit complicated. But when it comes to look, I know what I'm talking about. All right, I certainly know more than a lot of the people that I advise. John's still up at the caravan and he's back home on Saturday. Well, enjoy yourself up there in Skegness. Oh, Kirk Samarit, what a stupid name. The TV show Dear John. Yes, God, that has brought back memories. That has brought back memories, Dear John. Yeah, of course. He was the I've got a line, Cheeseburger. I've got a line from that. I don't remember much about that show, but I do remember this. There was a social gathering or a party or something, and either the host or one of the guests was a lady who had a problem with uncontrollable flatulence, and they had to plan between them. And every time she broke wind audibly, one of them said, "I'm terribly sorry, do excuse me." Until it came to this Kirk Samarit's character, he was a bit like the medallion guy from Faulty Towers, you know. He was all open shirted and jacketed and whatnot, as I remember. And when it was his turn to apologize, she blew off, and he said, I can't remember her name, I'll call her Mrs. Pumphrey. He said, "That's all right, Mrs. Pumphrey, you have that one on me." I thought that was a great line. Oh, hello. Mark is giving some advice to Dan on car reviews, and there is no better person to give advice because Mark's reviews are top of the range. If you've not watched Mark on Motoring, do yourself a favor, go and watch it. His car reviews are superb. They are very, very well researched. They're thoughtful. They are informative. He's a very personable presenter. They are amongst the best that are on YouTube, in my opinion. And that's genuine. That's not me blowing stuff up his WhatsApp. They genuinely are really good. I mean, Mark reviewed my Rover 45 V6 before it was mine, when it was still Joseph's. And that is a great review. Arguably the best review on that car. And bear in mind that it was also reviewed by slightly bigger channels than Mark, like JM on Cars and Matt of Furious Drivings. But I think Mark's was the standout review on that car. Anyway, his advice is go for it. Keeping the content going is half the battle, but it sounds like you've got that covered. Mastering filming takes longer. Oh, God, ain't that the truth? I don't think I ever will. But most viewers are happy with an honest review above all. Yeah, Joe's back to the singles thing. If you rely on that one person to make you happy, then it ain't going to work. You have to be happy with yourself. Where is your wine? Asked Adam Flynn. Oh, God, I've run out. Let's top up. Down my neck. Quite right, Cheeseburger. Skick says, in a way, I do see Joe's point. You need to focus on you being happy and not relying on... I'm so sorry. And not relying on someone else to make you happy. Quite right. Simone says, so being with someone won't help you to be happier with yourself? Bullcrap. It's not, Simone. It's the truth. It takes a while to learn that. Some people never do, but it is the truth. If you are happy because you are with somebody, you're not really happy. You're leeching happiness off somebody else, if that makes any sense at all. It's not true happiness. Trust me, it really isn't. And it's not wise. If you invest your emotional well-being and your happiness in another person, if you allow another person to be responsible for that, this is why that is dangerous stupidity. If they leave you, you are wrecked. It means that they can manipulate you if they happen to be that way inclined. It means that you are not in control of your own life. Your life is controlled by somebody else's emotions. Because if they have a bad day and decide that they're going to make you feel like shit. You've got such an emotional investment in them. Your happiness is invested in them. You're going to allow them to do that. That is how abusive relationships start. Somebody invests their happiness in somebody else. And that is what allows abuse to take place. Because if you've got a happy, fulfilled, or you've had a happy, fulfilled life on your own, if you're okay on your own, if you're comfortable on your own, then you are only with somebody when it adds to you, right? Now, you imagine that in order to be okay, you need to be on a zero line. You need to hit zero. If you hit zero, everything is good. So if you're alone and you're less than zero and you need somebody else to bring you up to that zero, that's where it becomes dangerous. You should be on that line of happiness on your own. And then you would only be with somebody else if they brought you above the line, if they made you even happier, if they added something extra special to your life. And you might wonder, those of you who have never been in an abusive relationship, why would you stay with somebody who beats you? Why would you stay with somebody who is an emotional bully? Why would you stay with somebody who cheats on you? Why would you stay with somebody who belittles you? Why would anybody be in any form of an abusive relationship? And the reason is exactly that, because they rely so much on somebody else for their own happiness that they would rather be with somebody and be unhappy, because they will think they will be even less happy without them. And that's why people stand for being beaten up, or for being emotionally abused, or for being coercively controlled, and so on. It's not healthy. Believe me, being unhappy and needing a relationship for happiness is not a healthy place to go or a healthy place to be. Oh, this is very true, Joe. You can be in a relationship or be surrounded by people and still feel alone. I've never felt alone when I'm on my own. I've only felt alone when I've been in a relationship, or as Joe says, around other people, in the wrong relationship or around the wrong other people. That's when you feel alone. You should never feel alone when you're with yourself. Skip says the greatest love of all is learning to love yourself. And again, that's a cliche in the lyric, but 100% true. Gotta love yourself before you can love others, says Joe. Otherwise, the relationship won't work. Correct. I disagree with that, Joe. I don't think the dating apps are just about looks and one night stands. Dating apps are not about anything at all. This is something else I have to try and bang into people. Because people will blame a dating app for their failure, right? A dating app is a medium. It's a means to an end. So to say that a dating app is just about how you look in one night stands, that's bollocks, because a dating app isn't a conscious thing. It's just a medium. Now, are there people on dating apps who are just about looks and one night stands? Yes, of course. Is everybody on a dating app just about looks and one night stands? No, of course they're not. And this is where skill and effort comes in. And I try to teach people this. Some people listen, some people don't. If you want to get the best out of a dating app, then you've got to put the effort in. Now, part of that effort is in writing your profile so that you do not attract the wrong sort of people. That's your job, right? So you don't want people who are just about looks and just about one night stands. You can write a profile that will not attract them. It will make them look away, and it will attract people who are after what you're after, right? That takes effort. That takes thought. But then so does a job interview. And this is a bit more important than that. So does passing a driving test. That takes a lot of effort. People spend a fortune on passing their driving test and give a lot of hours of thought and effort, but they give no effort to dating apps. And then they're surprised when, guess what? They don't work. You put fuck all effort into it and it doesn't work. but you put months of effort into learning to drive, and that did work. Well, figure it out. Figure it out. And the other thing is in the way that you select your potential partners, or you select the people that you want to interact with. You've got to do your due diligence. People say, oh, they're full of scam people, they're full of this, they're full of that, they're full of just people, married people, or people looking for one night stands. I've been on dating apps on and off for more years than I care to remember. I've never met one of those people. Why? Because I'm not thick. I put effort into reading in between the lines, into, if something's too good, oh God, don't get me started. And it's too late to get into all of that now. In fact, it's probably time we started saying our good nights. I hope you will be too, James. Mustard says, I would be really happy as a single man, but I'm happy being married too. You would be, Mustard. You are the shining example of that. You would be totally happy as a single guy. Oh, and just before I finish on that subject, here's something else. Right. If you want to stop somebody from wanting to date you, just tell them you're not happy and only a relationship could make you happy. That will put somebody off. Anybody who's got a bit of something upstairs, they will run a mile. Desperation is not attractive. It really, really isn't. So that person, people do this all the time. What are you looking for? Oh, anything with a pulse. I just need a relationship to make me happy. I can't be happy without a relationship. Right. If you're putting that message out there, then people are thinking, and you express interest in someone, people are thinking, well, do they just want a relationship because they can't be happy on their own? And is somebody better than nobody? So do they really like me? Or do they just think that I might be available for them? I don't know if I fancy that. And that's just the beginning of it. If they've got a thought process, they might think, well, do I want to be involved with? Oh, God, I mean, it's just a minefield. Oh, dear. It was cheeseburger. I'd forgotten about that. Oh, God, cheeseburger. Oh, Neil. Oh, Sophie, that's lovely. Bless you. Sorry, I'm not reading them out. I'm just reading them out to myself. Oh, there you go. I will read this one from Neil because this is exactly right. My ex relied on me for her happiness. When she had a bad day, I felt the brunt of it, and it resulted in physical and mental abuse towards me. When it broke off, blah blah. Yeah, that is the other point. That is the other point. If you get in a relationship with somebody, and they all of their happiness comes from the relationship, or they think it will. They think a relationship will make them happy. Guess what happens? So let's say you're in a relationship with this person who says a relationship will make you happy. Now, it never does. It never does. So when they find that they are still unhappy, guess what? They blame you. And suddenly it is your fault that they are unhappy. I've been there more than once. People think that they're not happy with themselves. They're incapable of being happy with themselves. You get into a relationship with them things might be okay for a while. They might be happy for a while, but then whatever makes them unhappy in the first place will kick in. But this time, it's your fault, and they will make your life hell. And that is why you should never date anybody who says that they're not happy being single. Yeah, I've been there too, Neil. Moral of the story is never trust someone who says they love you and throws a kitchen knife at you next. Been there. That's how my marriage ended up. There's a rather poignant post on Facebook where just before the divorce, just before I actually left, and yeah, I had sharp, pointy things thrown at me. Oh, good. That's nice. Title: Dating app is like driving a car. There's some good stuff going on here, people. There's some good stuff, but it is late and I am knackered and I do need to get off. And yes, it is a bit, Jimmy. I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's absolutely make tomorrow night a bit upbeat. I apologise if this one's taken a bit of a turn for the less upbeat, but you know, we do a lot of live streams. Not everyone is going to be a laugh fest. And this is another reason. This is another reason why I want to bring singles into the fold and do live streams for specifically for singles and other stuff as well. So that when there is a bit of a crossover, when you've got somebody like me or like other people who like a Venn diagram, they're in the sort of YouTube bit, but they also fit into the singles bit, then sometimes it's fine to mix the two. Sometimes it doesn't work to mix the two because discussing the single stuff is of no interest to people who are happily married or happily in a relationship. So that's why it needs to get separated out. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring singles, Boaty's World under the same umbrella, but keep them a little bit separated because what's of interest in one is not going to be of interest in another. Video title: Life is a Roller Coaster. Oh, okay. Skick says, do you read out the ones you like, Boat? I read out ones I like. I read out ones I don't like as well. I read lots of them, Matt. Christ singles again. Yes, Skick, yeah, because this YouTube channel is called Boaty's World, and singles has been and remains a massive part of my world. But it's going to come up now and again, but I'll try not to bang on about it too much. And I'm just having a skin. Diddly-do. Diddly-do. Yeah, there's some really good stuff on there. And yeah, this is why I need to get, well, I can't mention singles now again, can I? Skick will shout to me. But tomorrow night will be Mad Thursday. We'll be talking about totally different things. So why tell us the lives are us both? Don't understand that. Neil says, Boaty, I'll help you out with singles if you need it. I do. Yes, please, Neil. Thank you. Any of you who want to help out, I will be extremely grateful. And and there we are. Right. Okay. So this has gone a bit of a... Oh, thank you. Thank you, Simone. And I will. Not tonight, obviously, but Oh, hello. Mustard's offering you a live tomorrow afternoon, and he won't be talking about all of this nonsense. So jump onto Mustard's live, which will be wonderful. Oh, Skick. Honestly, mate. Honestly. Skick. How can I put this gently? It's not all about you. You know, you have to bear in mind that sometimes, right? Now, Skick, I'm going to say this to you. Fall out with me if you want to. You're always banging on about how much you admire Simone, right? Now, Simone is our friend, and we're talking about a subject that is very important to Simone, and we're trying to offer a little bit of understanding, empathy, and help. So you're not really a friend of Simone if you're just saying, oh, not this again. Oh, too much gets boring. Because you're not thinking about other people, are you? You're just thinking, well, this is boring for me. And that's not what a community is about. It's not all about that. It's about all of us. And different people need different things at different times. So you can't expect everything to be exactly to your desirability. And if and anyway, yeah. Oh, bloody hell. Oh God. Right, darlings, I'm gonna wind this up at that because we're getting into slightly deeper waters, and I don't want to avoid those waters. I just don't want to do them on this channel. This is more of a singles thing. So if you've got an interest in all of this kind of thing, right? Because I don't want to spam the channel with all the single stuff. If you're single, if you've got an interest in other people, if you give a shit about other people's happiness and you would like to help in any way, shape, or form, talk to me. Come over to the singles group and let's do it there where we're not going to get, you know, we're not going to offend people, we're not going to bore them, and we're not going to get, when we're trying to do something a bit worthwhile, we're not going to get people just popping up and saying, I don't like this is boring. So we'll do it in the more appropriate place. But bless you all for getting involved. And tomorrow night, yeah, we will get back to all of the upbeat and fun stuff. God help us. I'm knackered. Do you know what time I got up this morning? I've driven about 600 miles. I've served 190 odd people in the restaurant. It was great tonight. I really enjoyed it, but my God, I'm knackered. What I need to do now, darlings, is I need to go upstairs. I need to get this off. I need to get into my gym jams and dressing gown and my slippers. I need to get my supper on. I need to finish the wine. And then above all, I need to sleep. But my God, I will see you all tomorrow night and we'll have a bit of fun. Oh, hello, Trace is here. Oh, bloody hell, there's 25 of you now, just as I'm about to go. Why do you always come at the end? Oh, hello, Skick's still going. 1 minute it's about Boaty's world, and next we are a community. Well, do the two have to be mutually exclusive, Skick? I am hosting a Boaty's World live stream, and all of you wonderful people are part of my world. And I'm discussing in this one particular live stream a subject that is of particular interest to a particular section of the community. So how do you want me to operate with the community, Skick? Do you want me to exclude certain people because what's important to them is not important to you? I don't know. You tell me. I'm tempted to just leave this going and go and get changed and let you lot sort it out amongst yourselves. In fact, I will do that. I'm going to go up and put my dressing gown on, and you lot can say goodnight to each other, or have a go at me, or whatever you want to do, and I'll pop down in. I'll be down in a couple of minutes, and I'll fart you out. How's that? Oh my God, and I'm still Facebook living to the singles thing. This is going to go down well, isn't it? Bloody hell. Oh, oh, that's better. That is better. Oh, cheeseburger! Cheeseburger, you bastard! Cheeseburger, you absolute swine! Oh my God. I'm sorry. Oh my God, it's midnight. Right, come on, you lot, let's go. Tomorrow night, darlings. Same time, same place, slightly different subject matter. No, I haven't, Jimmy. Oh God, I love you lot. Oh dear. You lot keep me sane. You really do. Oh, I want my curry. Oh, where's my farting music? I can't find it. Here we go. Okay, darlings, thank you so much for your company tonight, and have a safe and peaceful night. Take great care of yourselves, all of you. Have the best day that you can tomorrow. Much love to you all, and I will see you next time tomorrow night, 11 o'clock. And have fun on Mustard's live stream if he does one tomorrow afternoon. All right, darlings. Good night. God bless.